Is a Dominican Republic all-inclusive resort right for your family? Or are you wasting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars? We all see the pictures. Perfect beaches, turquoise water, and a single price for what looks like a stress-free family vacation. But could that one price for everything deal actually be a costly mistake? Is it truly the best value for your family? We're going to investigate whether the all-inclusive model is a brilliant deal or a clever trap. We'll do a side-by-side cost breakdown, an all-inclusive resort versus booking it all yourself. And you'll want to stick around to the end because I'm going to share a little-known secret that could save you hundreds on your next vacation. Okay, let's be fair. The all-inclusive promise is incredibly tempting for a reason. Especially in a place like Punta Cana, the whole system is built for ease. You book one package and suddenly you don't have to think about where you're eating, your drinks, your room, or even some of the entertainment. I get it. The idea of not having to debate with the family about where to eat for 7 nights straight, that alone feels like a vacation. For a lot of people, knowing that big cost up front is the biggest selling point. You know what you're in for before you even leave home. So let's look at real numbers for a 7-night trip for 2. In mid-April, a decent 4-star resort with flights from a major city will start around $2,500 to $3,500. That's your total. So think $1,250 to $1,750 per person for a solid experience. Want that 5-star luxury with the fancy restaurants? That can easily jump to $4,000 or more for the week. On paper, this sounds amazing. And if your only goal is to hit the beach for 7 days and never leave the resort, it can be a fantastic value. But what if your family wants more than just hanging out at the resort and sitting by the pool? This is where the perfect picture starts to crack. Here's the part they don't put in the brochure. All-inclusive is a marketing term, not a guarantee that it includes everything. The trap is the business model of the upsell. Once you're there, you're a captive audience. Let's talk food. The main buffet is included, sure, but that romantic steakhouse you saw online, that'll be a surcharge. There goes an extra $100 for your anniversary dinner. Want a brand name vodka instead of the local stuff? That's an upgrade fee. Even room service often has an extra delivery charge. Then activities. The kayaks are probably free, but parasailing or jet skis? That's extra. A massage at the spa? Definitely extra. And at resort prices, it can be a shock. Even getting a shaded cabana by the pool might cost you a daily rental fee. But the biggest hidden cost is the excursions. The Dominican Republic is full of amazing adventures, like Sayona Island or the Hoyo Azul Cenote. Booking these through your resort is almost always the most expensive option. They act as a middleman and take a huge cut. A Sayona Island tour that costs $75 per person directly might be marked up to $120 or more at the hotel. And it all adds up. Buying premium Wi-Fi because the free version is too slow. Tips, which may or may not be included. Airport transfers are another common add-on. A few premium meals, one tour, and a spa treatment can easily add $500 to $1,000 to your bill. That's the trap. You think it's all paid for, but you're still pulling out your wallet for the things you really want to do. If you're already finding this useful and you want more travel tips that actually save you money, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It makes a huge difference and ensures you won't miss our next video. So what's the alternative? It's booking it all yourself. This takes a little more planning, I'll admit, but it gives you total freedom and can save you a ton of money. Let's break down that same 7-night trip for 2. First, flights. From a major city to Punta Cana, you can often find tickets for about $350 to $450 per person if you book a couple of months in advance. Next, your stay. This is where you can save big. Instead of a resort, you can book a great Airbnb. A beautiful modern apartment with a kitchen and a pool in the Bavaro area can be as low as $70 a night. For the week, that's $490 total, or just $245 per person. Now for my favorite part, food. You have total freedom. You can have simple breakfasts with fresh local fruit from your apartment. For lunch and dinner, you can explore the real food scene. A fantastic, authentic meal at a local spot called a Comedor can cost as little as $5 to $10. Even a nice dinner out might only be $20 a person. Let's budget a generous $60 per person per day for all food and drinks. That's $420 for the week, and you're tasting real Dominican food and supporting local businesses. Finally, activities and transportation. We will budget for a week packed with 3 or 4 big adventures, plus local transport like Uber and airport taxis. We'll set aside $400 per person for this. So let's add up our DIY trip for one person. $400 for the flight, $245 for lodging, and $420 for food. That brings us to $1,065. Add in our $400 activity and transport budget, and the grand total for an adventure-filled week is about $1,465 per person. Before we compare the final numbers, here is a little-known secret if you want to save the most money on your next vacation. Whether you book an all-inclusive resort or go the DIY route, the biggest savings often come from avoiding the extra markups built into many booking sites. That's exactly why we created Family for Adventure. We cut out the middleman and give you access to prices not available on the major travel websites. This means you can often take the exact same trip for less, or even upgrade your stay without having to pay more. If you're planning a trip and want to make sure you're getting the best deal, check out Family for Adventure. We put a link in the description below so you can see how it works. Okay, let's put the numbers right next to each other for an apples-to-apples comparison. The mid-range all-inclusive started at about $1,300 per person, but that's with very limited activities. Our DIY travelers spent $1,465 per person. But remember, that price included a budget for 4 major excursions and the freedom to eat anywhere. To make it a fair fight, what if the all-inclusive guest wanted the same adventure? 4 resort-priced tours at an average of $120 each would add another $480 to their bill. Suddenly, the all-inclusive total jumps to $1,780 per person. Now the difference is clear. For the exact same level of adventure, the DIY trip is over $300 cheaper per person. So here's the verdict. The all-inclusive is a win for families whose main goal is to just unplug in one spot with zero stress. If you plan to stay put, enjoy the endless food and drinks, and don't need many outside activities, it's a great value. The all-inclusive is a trap for the adventurous family, the curious foodie, or anyone who wants to see the real Dominican Republic. You pay a premium for things you might not even use, only to pay again for the experiences you actually want. The DIY approach is a win for the independent family that loves flexibility and control over their budget. You save money on your room and spend it on what really matters to you, like amazing adventures and authentic food. So, is the all-inclusive a trap? It is if you believe the hype that all-inclusive means everything is free. It's a trap if it keeps you walled off from the incredible culture, nature, and people just outside the resort. But if you know what you're signing up for, and it fits what you need from a vacation, it can be a wonderfully easy way to travel. The real power is knowing you have a choice. And speaking of choices that make a difference, I want to leave you with one final tip. Many people get confused about tipping. While some resorts say tips are included, the reality is that the staff works incredibly hard for very low wages. A few dollars for your bartender, your housekeeper, or a server who gives you great service makes a massive difference to them and is genuinely appreciated. Budgeting a little extra for tips is a small cost that goes a long way. The real paradise of the Dominican Republic is often waiting just outside those resort walls. I'm really curious. What do you think? Are you a die-hard all-inclusive fan, or do you book everything yourself? Share your stories in the comments below. We read them all. And if you're ready to book your next vacation and don't want to overpay, make sure you check out the Family for Adventure link below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.